It's unlikely that politics will be the driving force impacting the outlook for mortgage rates or indeed for interest rates in the next year. The key story for the UK economy is the end of cheap money. Interest rates have risen significantly in recent years, and the outlook over the next 12 months depends largely on what happens to inflation. Inflation is set to decelerate significantly, and against that backdrop, the Bank of England is likely to cause a halt to its hike in interest rates. And as we move through next year, interest rates should decline slightly. But the key message to take away is that whereas in previous years, interest rates have been at a very low level, as we look to the next 12, 18 months, interest rates will settle at a much higher level than in the recent past, regardless of the politics. Well, Brexit was a political decision. In economic and financial terms, it's what you do, it's not leaving the EU that's the key issue. Back in 2016, I described Brexit as likely to be like a Nike swoosh for the British economy. You can't leave something you've been in for over 40 years and not expect to have an impact. Hence, that's the downward part of the swoosh. Beyond that, it's really what you actually do in terms of domestic policy and how you position yourself, not just with the EU, but with the rest of the world. The key message in recent years is that while the British economy has grown faster than Germany and Italy and slower than France, the challenges that we face are similar to the challenges being faced across Western Europe. It's how we become competitive and reposition ourselves in the changing and growing global economy. Look, the world economy is fundamentally changing, and the British economy needs to adjust to actually recognize the opportunities as well as cope with the challenges. There is a shift in the balance of economic power, and it will impact how we look at the world. It's almost like the map of the world is changing. The future growth economy is the Indo-Pacific. And when you look at the map, the Indo-Pacific has India in the west, America in the east, and the growth is concentrated within that. Europe, including Britain, has to cope with that change. Are we adjusting enough? The reality is no. Before the global financial crisis in 2008, the British economy took about 32 years to double in size. Now it takes about 70 years to double in size. So imagine thinking that you, if you're born now, will have to live to 70 to appreciate and gain where your parents lived to 32 years to be able to do so. It's changing how we should look at the economy, and it means we need to adapt and change. We need all the I's: investment, innovation, infrastructure spending, the incentives in terms of tax and regulation needs to be right. You then reduce inequality, and then you get the growth. Are we going in the right direction? No, not at the moment, but we can always change.